Call to order. Call to order. The time is now 6 o'clock. Today is the October 13th, 2025 Board of Education regular meeting. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Clark.
Here.
Cochran. Madison.
Here.
Perryman Tanks.
Here.
Rogers.
Here.
Scott.
Scott let me know that she would not be here today.
And Tyler.
Here.
Okay, we will move to item number 2, approval of the agenda. We will, can you please call the roll for the approval of the agenda, please, Ms. Pat?
Clark.
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
Perryman Tanks.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
And Tyler.
Yes.
Okay, item number 3, approval of consent agenda. Ms. Greer, can you please call the roll?
Clark.
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
Perryman Tanks.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
And Tyler.
Yes.
All right, item number 4, presentations. We will start with Lessinger Early Childhood.
Miss
Welcome, everyone. Those of you that heard the speech, we'll start with the principal. Principal will invite the student come up, and afterwards we'll do pictures here, and then we'll go from Lessinger to the next building, and afterwards we will have a 5-minute break.
Hello, greetings everyone to our esteemed board, our superintendent and his cabinet. I am Simone Berry, the director of Lessinger Early Childhood Center, and I'm delighted to introduce our students of the month. They are both in the Young 5 class and Miss Samaha's class. Can we welcome Miss Samaha as she shed a bright light on our Lessinger Rebels?
All right. Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
All right, I'm going to start. So I actually nominated both my students this month. My first student that I'm nominating is Kalea Bryant. Kalea brings so much joy and energy to our classroom every single day. She's always singing and dancing her way back to her seat, spreading smiles wherever she goes. During morning meetings, she's our rock star. Her voice shines, especially when we're singing our Snoop Dogg affirmations. Kalea is also a true mother hen. She's always looking out for her friends and making sure everyone feels cared for and included. Kalea is not afraid to speak her mind. If she is excited, she will tell you. And if she does not like something, she will definitely tell you. For example, when I'm teaching and I throw in an English accent to keep the kids engaged, the first one to say, I didn't like that, that was weird, is Kalea. She always keeps me humble, and I love that she already has a confidence about her that is unwavering. She is as sweet as she is genuine. We are so proud of you, Kalea. Thank you for filling our room with kindness, music, and love. Are we doing our picture now?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, Kalea and your family can come on.
Yay.
Right here would be perfect, middle.
Okay. Ready? I do care about angles, unlike that. You can catch this shade.
Yay, Kalea.
Oh, I'm so sick. Okay, I have to do my next one. Okay, me again. Hello. Okay, our second student of the month is my guy, Marcel. Marcel Smith. Marcel might be turning 5 soon, but his personality is more like 25. He keeps our classroom, and me especially, laughing every single day with his quick wit and funny one-liners. One of my favorite things that he says is when I tell him, oh, that's cool, Marcel will laugh and go, I know, right? Marcel excels academically in all subjects and is even the first student in our class to be able to count to 100. I truly believe that Marcel's curiosity and determination when it comes to learning will lead him to great success in life. I have 2 nicknames for Marcel. I call him Marcel the Shell, and I call him my shadow. I call him my shadow because he always wants to sit by me, he follows me around the room, and his most favorite activity is standing next to me at my desk when I send emails. When the year first started, Marcel used to cry every time I took the students to lunch. For a while, I couldn't figure out why. It became such a common thing that I finally mentioned it to his mom. She talked to him and told me the next day that Marcel said, I don't know why Miss Samaha always leaves us. I miss her. That hour apart was almost too much for both of us. He has such a big heart and brings so much love, laughter, and joy to our classroom. We are so proud of you, Marcel. All right, Marcel, this is for you, and then we can all go take our picture. Let's go. Yay. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to announce the next one. Coming up next, Einstein Elementary.
Good evening. My name is Sarah Provenziola. I'm the proud principal at Einstein Elementary School, and we have Ms. Bashi here to honor our first student of the month, so I'm going to let her take it away.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am here to honor Marley Baker from Einstein Elementary. She's the kindergarten. Marley is a wonderful student who is always doing her best. She serves as a great role model for others. She's very caring and treats everyone with kindness and respect. She was chosen for the Empathy Award for the month of September because she's always checking in on her friends to make sure they are okay. She is very observant and notices right away if someone is upset. She will approach them, hug them, dry their tears, and even offer a bit of advice. She is a great listener and tries her best to understand why someone is upset. Then she does her best to cheer them up. I am delighted she is in my class, and I am so very happy to honor and recognize her as Student of the Month for the month of September.
And we're going to go take the picture. If the family wants to come up.
They match. Former rebels, just gotta tell you.
And is Dr. Owens here? I don't see her, so I'm going to honor our next student of the month, who is Caleb Wingate. Caleb is one of our wonderful 5th grade students at Einstein Elementary School. Dr. Owens said that he is working hard on how he acts and reacts in class. He is setting a standard for himself in completing his assignments and believing in his own knowledge and the power that he has. He's not willing to be dragged down by others, but he lifts others up, and he deserves to be Student of the Month at Einstein Elementary School. And then if family wants to come up.
Yes, yes.
The whole family.
Yes.
Well, everybody want to have lots of Eagles with us tonight. And former Eagles.
Got you.
So I want to thank both of my students of the month for teaching all of our students at Einstein what it means to be a shining star, where we rise by lifting others. So that everyone can shine at Einstein. Next is Mr. Carter, assistant principal at Key Elementary
All right, good evening, everyone. Again, my name is Adam Carter, assistant principal at Key Elementary. Very proud to be here tonight to honor our students, along with everyone else in our district. Congratulations for all the great work, being leaders and setting a tone for the school year. Okay, first up, we have one of our kindergarten students. All right, and her name is Zaya Williams, and her teacher, Miss Brinson, is here to present Zaya.
All right, I'm going to talk a little bit about Zaya. Here we go. So Zaya is always giving her best academically and with her friends. She reminds her friends to stay on task, to help her work as a team, and stay on task within her own work. She is very conscious of other students' needs and always helps students around with their work, or even if they need to find something. From helping them get a tissue, to Miss Britton needs to walk someone to the office, to get paperwork, Zaya is your girl. She comes into school with a positive attitude and a big smile. I'm glad to announce that Zaya embodies Key Pride by showing positivity in and outside of the classroom. She's a very sweet and great student and a friend to all. She's an overall amazing little girl, and you rock, Zaya.
Come on up, Mr. Can we just see the sun? There we go. All right, one.
You can tell when leaders have it naturally, and Zaya has it naturally. She's a boss already. Next up, our first grade student, they just called and have a family emergency, so they won't be here today, but we do want to recognize them. And so we'll have Miss Abram come up to represent Dior Coleman, her student.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Miss Dior Coleman is a friend to everyone. She loves to include anyone in any activity. She is one of our class shoe tying experts. Dior absolutely has star student qualities and is always looking for ways to help her friends and myself, her teacher. She works extra hard to get her work done, always trying her best even when it's tricky. Dior can be found sharing, using her kind words, and being respectful. She is definitely a leader in our classroom. So proud of you, Dior. Keep shining bright like a diamond.
All right, and again, on behalf of our principal, Miss Prince, we thank you all for your attendance tonight. Next up, we have Pepper Elementary and our principal, Mr. Haley.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Well, I I'm going to reacquaint myself with most of the people, but for some, this might be an introduction. I am the proud principal of the Dr. James N. Pecker Elementary School, located at 24301 Church Street on the north side of Oak Park. It pleases me to be here tonight on this most auspicious occasion. I am honeymoon happy. It's just ecstatic to be here tonight and to introduce our students of the month. I am going to have one of the proud Pepper Panther teachers, Mr. David Mervack, and he will provide the introductions of our students of the month. Mr. Mervack.
Hello. I'm Mr. Mervack. I'm a first grade teacher at Pepper Elementary, and it's my honor to introduce Jamari Booker as a Pepper Panther Student of the Month. Jamari loves to read during free time in the classroom and has quite the affinity for superheroes. He's hardworking and tries his best even when things get difficult, and he may not have all the right answers. He models the PBIS framework and can always be seen making smart choices. And he's always willing to lend a helping hand in the classroom. He jumps at the chance to provide me with all of the materials other students dropped on the ground during cleanup time. It's my honor to introduce Jamari Booker as one of our Pepper Panther students of the month.
Wait a minute. You gotta get your award.
Here, no. Stand over here.
Oh, there you go.
David? Wait.
Thank you.
And I'm back. The next student of the month I'd like to introduce is Jalea Hagwood. Jalea she's a true class leader. She can always be caught doing the right thing and is a great friend to everyone in the classroom. She loves to share and is one of the first to tell her good news of the day during our morning circle. It's an absolute pleasure having Jalea in my class. So without further ado, I give you Jalea Hagwood, Panther Student of the Month.
All right, let me go. Okay. Thank you.
Well, without further ado, I now present to you my friend, my colleague, and my bald-headed brother, the proud principal of the Oak Park Preparatory Academy, Mr. Doug Island.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Doug Island, and I am the proud principal of Oak Park Preparatory Academy, known as OPA. Thanks, Mr. Haley. Bob Head Brothers definitely got to continue to stick together. This evening, I have the privilege of bringing forward 2 awesome 6th graders that have been doing fantastic things in the school. And so our first student of the month is Trust Stuckey. Hey, Trust. So, this is what Trust's teacher had to say about her. Trust has been selected by her English teacher, Mrs. Spania, for Student of the Month. Ms. Spania states, Trust is an amazing student, bright, respectful, friendly, and so hardworking. She recently submitted an assignment, Letter to My Future Self. That was the best letter I have ever received from a 6th grader. From the handwriting to the content, she is incredibly thoughtful in her work, and she is a great friend to her peers. She represents exactly what an OPA student should be. Come on, man.
Look, because I'm way sharp.
Thank you. I got glasses.
Okay, got you.
All right, our awesome next 6th grade student, Mr. Robert White. All right, here's what Robert's teacher, Mr. Crawford, had to say about him. Robert has been selected by his English teacher, Mr. Crawford, for Student of the Month. Mr. Crawford states that Robert is an outstanding student who consistently goes above and beyond in everything he does. He is also willing to lend a helping hand, whether it is assisting the teacher with classroom tasks or supporting his classmates with kindness and patience. Robert consistently completes his assignments on time and meets all deadlines with care and dedication. His work is thorough, thoughtful, and reflects a strong commitment to learning. His positive attitude and strong work ethic make him a role model for his peers. In addition to his academic achievements, Robert is courteous, respectful, and a joy to have in class. His helpful nature and eagerness to contribute make a lasting impact on the classroom community. Congratulations, Robert. Hope that's lucky to have. All right.
They definitely don't have to tell me to come.
That's right.
There you go. Right.
That's what I was just making sure. I love that shirt. She was a problem solver. I like that.
All right, up next is our wonderful and beautiful high school principal, Miss Renita Williams.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening. My name is Renita Williams. I am the proud principal of Park High School, and I am so delighted to present to you all our first student of the month for the 25-26 school year. Our first student is a 9th grader, Jordan McNeely. Come on up, Jordan. So Jordan was nominated by her social studies teacher, Mr. Orlando. He describes her as a hardworking young lady who is consistently on task and always willing to help others succeed. Her math teacher, Mr. Bird, added that Jordan approaches learning with a positive attitude and she is a true pleasure to have in class. Jordan has demonstrated an impressive transition into high school, earning exemplar grades already in algebra, biology, and U.S. history. She is also enrolled in the Center for Advanced Studies and Arts, which is our CASA program. She takes sculpture and yoga, and she's expanding her academic and creative horizon. Beyond her academics, Jordan is known for her respectful demeanor, leadership qualities, and dependable work ethic. She consistently leads by example, contributing to a positive classroom culture and motivating her peers to do their best. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and presents our 9th grade Knight, Jordan McNeely, as our first recipient of the school. Parents, this is yours. For you. You're welcome. And I have a shirt for you also. This says Student of the Month. I need one of those. I see you, Miss Williams. It's not make it $40. Give it up for Jordan. Okay, the next student of the month at Oak Park High School is Mr. Jeremiah N. Johnson. He is a junior. Jeremiah was nominated by his Spanish teacher, Mrs. Avila Walker. Mrs. Walker shares that Jeremiah has consistently demonstrated exceptional qualities that reflect our school's core values, which are being on task, positive, helpful, and safe. Jeremiah is always on task, showing focus and dedication in every class and class activity. He approaches his assignments with enthusiasm, completes work on time, and sets an excellent example for his peers through his strong work ethic. Jeremiah has plans to attend college after high school and has a strong interest in real estate. He is a lover of nature and loves being outdoors. He's on our track and field team, and he is also on the football team. Jeremiah maintains a positive attitude that uplifts others. He greets challenges with optimism, encourages his classmates, and contributes to a supportive classroom environment. His positivity is contagious and helps foster a sense of community amongst students and staff. Jeremiah is also helpful, kind, thoughtful, and cooperative, often offering assistance to his classmates and his teachers without being asked. Overall, Jeremiah exemplifies the quality of a true student leader. He is responsible, respectful, and ready to help others succeed. And his teacher expresses how extremely proud she is to recommend him for this well-deserved recognition. It is with great pleasure that the Oak Park High School administration recognizes and presents our junior Knight with the Student of the Month. This is Jeremiah Johnson. This is yours, Jeremiah. Mom and Dad. Thank you, everyone. At this time, I would like to introduce my esteemed colleague, Mr. Mario Evans, the fantastic Nova Knights principal.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
As you said, my name is Mario Evans. I am the new Nova principal. And today I am here to introduce our Student of the Month. I also have Ms. Washington here to represent with us as well. She'll introduce our student. One of our students is not here, but I'll still read on their behalf. At our school, we take pride in recognizing students who consistently demonstrate our core values of respect, responsibility, leadership, and accountability. Each month, as we nominate our students who embody these values through their actions, attitude, and academic efforts, we want to recognize the following students who have exemplified what it means to be a positive role model within our school community, where we lead, where we learn, and we inspire. I'll pass it on to Ms. Washington.
So the two students that I selected to be students of the month were students who challenged me to be a better teacher. Because, so we're, on paper, it says Nova Disciplinary Academy, so sometimes we get a bad rep. But I chose these two because these two are gonna cause you to put some respect on our name. Because it's not just about disciplinary. These students are academically sound, they come every day and just challenge me to be a better teacher. Kaylin Player, who is not here this evening, she is an amazing young lady. She is new to the building, but again, she is just one that keeps me on my toes because again, she is there and she is very adamant about receiving high quality education. And so again, she makes sure that I am together every day and that I am there to challenge her. So she again exemplifies a Nova Knight. Our next student of the month is Mr. Jaden Bates. So Jaden has been challenging me since I saw his NWEA scores. Because myself being new to the building, I was getting to know my students as well. So when I saw his score, I was like, okay, I gotta get ready. But Jaden is, for lack of a better term, you know the song that says, if I were a boy, if I were a boy, this is who Jaden is. And ironically, he was born on my birthday. But Jaden is one of those who self-corrects. When, like you bring it to his attention, he's a teenager, so he does things, but you bring it to his attention and immediately he brings it together. And one time we had to have a conversation with Mom, and immediately I would say, just in having that conversation, I wanted to be a part of his village because I recognized the home that he came from and the values that are instilled in him at home. So I am appreciative that I am able to be a part of his village because he is going to do amazing things.
Thank you all, and I'll pass it back to the board.
Okay, guys, so we're gonna take a 5-minute break. We will resume at 6:38. This gives anybody a chance to leave. If you would like to leave, you can go ahead. And I do want to congratulate all of the students on being the Okay, welcome back. We are on item number 5, reports. 5A, first 2025 budget amendment presented by Dr. Sharice Foster.
Good evening, members of the board, superintendent, cabinet, district staff, and community members. Again, my name is Sharice Foster. I am the executive director of business and finance. I will be bringing forward to you today a first proposed amendment to our 25-26 budget. So just to do a slight little recap, as you recall, we came before you at the beginning of June 2025 to discuss our proposed budget, projected budget for 25-26. During that presentation, we updated everyone, letting them know that we were kind of in a cloud as relates to the state and the state aid payments. Wasn't quite sure what those monies would look like. And in preparation of doing so, for the last few months, the superintendent and I, members of all of cabinet, as well as my team, we have literally combed through both the revenue and expenditure side of the budget to be in the best shape possible for any proposed cuts. As of October 3rd, there was a release from the state indicating a good projection, a possibility of what our bigger buckets of revenue would look like.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, you're fine. So for the first, we're going to speak about the revenue. So to your left, you'll see what was approved during our June projection. And here on our first amended projection, this is what we're proposing based off our combing through, again, the expenses and knowing where we are with revenue and still having some moving parts. So again, with revenue, we have large buckets that speak to local sources. These sources kind of speak to our taxes that we bring in. Some of our child care expenses, our interest on various investments, CASA, which is our career and arts program, and Balmer, which is a new funding that we got towards the end of the year. Where you see parentheses, that shows a reduction. The only reason Balmer shows that is because we started at a 1.4 million. We spent some. So for the remainder of 25-26, we have 1.2. That's why you'll see a reduction there. So if you have a grant that carries forward, you'll start with a certain amount.
Can you zoom out a little bit, like, so people can see the numbers, board members?
Make this a little bigger?
Yeah.
Just a touch.
Sorry.
No, you're fine. Let's do, Angel, I think you can't see anything, no, everyone knows.
There.
A little bigger.
That's good. That's much better. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for helping. Thank you.
So when you have like a grant that's like that, every grant has a period of performance, unless it's like a foundation or like a donation grant. So this grant started, we were awarded in June. We had until the end of the summer to spend it. We have other grants like our special ed that covers 2 years. We'll start off with one funding, whatever's left over will roll over. So sometimes you'll see a reduction when it's really not that, it's just what's remaining from the previous year. And I'll shine that on just so you have a clear understanding of what I'm showing you. So we have the local revenue, and then we have our state revenue sources. These first 3 buckets speak to our student count, our student aid. Our proposal A, our special ed Headley, and our discretionary funding. That's a large chunk of looking at our student count and what we are being awarded per student. So as you recall, when we did our projection, we kept our projection at the 9,000 plus. The state has in fact approved that amount at 10,050. So with that being the case, these amounts where you see the increase by the proposal A of 2 million, special ed Headley, discretionary, all that is a result of having the additional money that we initially didn't plan for, but we kind of knew were coming, but we just wanted to be in the best position possible and hold off, okay? You'll see here various other funding sources. Again, where you see the positive side, that's an increase. Where you see the negative with the parentheses, that's a decrease in funding. With the overall initially approval of $41,199,127 in June, we're requesting an approval of a projected amount of $44,277,849 in our total state sources. And again, a number of these are still kind of in limbo, and we're still waiting for what's actually going to be awarded by the state. But the bigger bucket items, we're pretty confident that those are solid. Our next bucket in terms of revenue is our federal and state awards. Michigan Works, they are in the process of going through a cut as well. This figure, I'm sure, will change by the next time we come for another amendment, but we'll keep you updated. As a reminder, Michigan Works is a flow-through. So that's awarded by the county. The program is run through our Nova building. They, provide the services. We pay the money up front, like most of our grants, and then they reimburse us. We have our title grants. What I did with title was, because of the target against the federal grants, I decided to do about an 18% cut just to be safe. IDA flow-through, we kept that about the same because, again, we have two grants that are running simultaneously. Our grant from last year, we're almost done spending, and we've started our new grant for this year, so we'll keep this as the same. And indirect costs are those costs that are indirectly associated with those programs that we run. So for Title I, for example, that allows indirect costs. If we get $1 million, they may allow us 4% of that to go to indirect. Well, we don't have to necessarily say what those costs are, but they're costs like using the computers, using the electricity, using the copier, the people that are working on the grants. That's what indirect costs are. So I think it's a crime not to collect on indirect costs when it's offered through those various funding sources. So 125 was approximately what we received last year, and we're just going to keep that again for this year. So overall, in terms of the revenue, for when we closed out last year, we were at revenue $59,141,063. With the increase, and again, coming through, literally just line by line, we're proposing an increased amount of $61,280,913, which is bringing an increase of our fund balance, proposed projected fund balance, an increased amount of $651,183. So, you determine your fund balance by looking at your revenue and looking at your expenses. So what I shared with you just now was the revenue, the money that's coming in, okay? Let's talk about our expenses. This is just a snapshot. It kind of tells you how our expenses, that's the revenue, tells you how our expenses are kind of in buckets. So you have athletics, you have central services, transportation, operation and maintenance, general business, instructional support, instruction. So the big buckets are where they need to be, in instruction and instructional support. This represents a lot of the salaries. This represents the contractual costs. It represents the supplies, material, etc. All these resources that are going directly into the classroom. What I provided was giving you more detail of each function code and line by line what those look like. And I also want to highlight where you see the changes in our original projection to where we are now. And you'll pretty much see across the board that our expenses have gone down. So again, keeping in mind salaries being like our bigger buckets, we're working really closely with HR in terms of making sure that the seats that are being filled in the classroom have the adequate amount of teachers in place. We're looking at the contractual cost that was an issue last year as it relates to subs, just really making sure that we're utilizing those resources when absolutely necessary. So you'll see just in total basic program, there was a reduction from $24 million to a little over $23 million. Each line gives you a description of what we're looking at. With special ed, we're looking at a slight reduction, but the reductions does not mean that we're taking away from the classrooms. It does not necessarily mean that we're taking away any resources. What it means is your superintendent had us up 2 weeks in a row to midnight, combing through accounting for every penny, just making sure everything's accounted for. Okay? So we go from my expenses being a projection of $59,141,063 to an increase of $60,629,730. Why? Because when we bring in new money, so remember I mentioned Balmer? Balmer was a million plus that came in, but we also have to show the expense. So we got the revenue coming in, but we also have to increase expense, so those two will cancel each other out. Okay? And again, I provided function codes and what those represents. breakdown and price. Any questions?
I have a question, but
Sure.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead. No, you go.
I just want to thank you because I can only imagine how, I know I was stressed and I don't even do the administration with the budget not being passed. So I can only imagine what pressure you've been under as far as coming through all of this. And I know you've worked really, really hard. So I just want to thank you for all of your hard work in putting all of this together. Very comprehensive, very easy to read. I have no issues. So.
Team effort.
It's a team effort, the entire team
Thank
effort.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, my first question is, how many students do we have right now? What's our student count?
So we've accounted for 3072 that are fully accounted for. There are 14 that were enrolled. We're still trying to get them within that 10-day marker. So that would take us to 3086.
So we have 30,000. Okay. How many students we had last year?
2992.
Okay, that's my first question. My second question is, how would this affect our audit? Because I'm looking at some of these numbers, and so how would that affect our audit?
It could change, and it's likely it will change. So the audit is coming to a close. We followed up with them today. The audit will tell us once the audit dust settles, they've massaged everything, went through everything, they'll come with us and give us financial statements. We'll go through those, and they'll also tell us what the fund balance is based off what they've found in doing all our work. What we do is we have to then look at the financial statements, see if we agree with what they're saying. The financial statements tell the story, then at the end it gives us the fund balance. It's likely going to be different than what I have. Hopefully it's not way off, hopefully it's higher. Not sure, but the audit will cost and require us to do another amendment. But instead of just waiting for the audit and because of the pressure and trying to figure out, do we need to get a loan? Where are we with the budget? We ended up doing this kind of early to make sure the district was prepared to cover payroll at least for the next few months.
Great.
Well, I understand. I do truly understand that. We want to make sure everyone is paid and whatnot. So how does that affect our revenue, what we have in reserve? So you said after that 3 months, then you're looking to, it will affect our audit. I did hear that, right?
The audit would change our figures and it requires us to do another amendment. I'm
Okay,
sure.
so with your financial background, can you give me like a close amount of number that it may affect it? I think that's what I want. Yeah, can you give me a close amount of number that it may affect it? You think it'll go down, or do you think it will expand?
The fund balance?
Yes.
I'm hoping it'll go up because I've been really crunching. The revenue, I think it is as it stands. We know the revenue that we got in from the state.
Okay.
So we're able to capture that. It will be more of our expenses.
Okay.
So if I recall, in June, we had a lot of like sub costs, special ed costs, things of that nature that I did not budget for the amount it came up to. So during that last projection, we tried to project and capture it. So we just have to see when it comes out. But yes, the audit will require us to do another amendment.
So what I hear you saying, you really can't give me emphatic.
Too early.
And it's too early for it.
Yes.
Okay, so my other question would be, I think this may be the HR, but I believe it ties in. Are we fully staffed, or what are we looking at? Because we don't want to continue to go into our revenue. Are we fully staffed, or are we still using a lot of subs and whatnot?
Excuse me, our sub costs come from day-to-day absences for the most part. However, we do have a few vacancies that still exist. So I sent an update regarding our vacancies, and I could pull it up, but a number of our vacancies exist with special education peer educators across the board. We have a couple of school psychologist positions that are still vacant. Specifically two. We have a math position that is open at the high school. The principal is working on identifying a candidate for that position. We have, we just recently filled a social studies position. at the middle school with the internal candidate that went from a peer position to a teaching position. So we have, it's not as many as where we were this time last year, but we have a few vacancies that are still left. But I would say the predominant cost of our subs is from absences of staff.
All right.
It's a double-edged scale because you have subs, but you're not paying teachers, right? We want the teacher, but it balances out because the cost of the teacher will reduce the cost of the sub, but now you're paying the cost of the teacher.
Understood.
So, you know, we're trying because we want high-quality teachers.
Definitely.
And then to answer your other question, last year the audit came in $1 million over.
Okay.
So last year our fund balance was how much?
14.5.
14.5, but when we presented to you guys, we said 13.
13.
So the audit said you guys have more money than you. So when Charisse tells you we are super tight, we don't fluff it, because when you fluff stuff, it comes back. Just why a lot of districts were, you know, trying to not show like they were in a deficit in June, they were anticipating, and we took heat because we did not anticipate, we did not increase enrollment, we did not do this, and yet we were still at 19%. Now we're projecting that we might be at 22% fund balance, which is unheard of to increase revenue by that much without cutting staff or programs. We've touched no such thing, but in fact we're growing programs. We've just been lucky and blessed with opportunities and grants that have presented themselves, i.e. the bomber. That was 1.4 million.
Right.
So we sometimes it's better lucky than good, right, with the opportunities, but sometimes it's both. And so part of policy states that we have to come to you every 3 months.
Yes, sir. Understood.
So this is one of three, just staying in compliance, but it also helped us clean up.
Right.
So what you're seeing in 20 minutes, what I'm telling you is this group and the finance team, they were working. I mean, I know I was bombarding them, texting at night. I'm like, okay, I got to get off the phone. But they were 2 weeks just to do this.
I'm not negating that.
No, absolutely. I was just
right. I understand what you're saying. I'm not negating that. I'm just trying to figure out where we are, and when we get this audit, that's my main concern.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times when an auditor come in, they find stuff that we don't find. That's why they're auditors.
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
so I'm just trying to make sure that we're staying, you know, within that compliance. That's all.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? Any other questions?
Good job, Dr. Foster.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're not. We will now move to item number 5B, 2024 to 2025 District Student Data Review and Presentation, presented by Shayna Murphy and Sherry Bugsider.
Good evening to the Board of Education, our president, all of our trustees, and to our superintendent and cabinet. First of all, I want to say good evening to each of you, and thank you for staying for this presentation. First of all, I want to just shout out, it is National Principal Appreciation Month. We have our squad over here sticking with us in the boardroom, so we want to recognize all of the wonderful administrators of the Oak Park School District. Thank them for their service, their tirelessness, their love and dedication to the staff and students of the Oak Park School District. So hats off to my A team, whoop whoop. And it is National Principal Appreciation Month, so we appreciate all of the service that they provide to our children. And so Ms. Bugziger and I are up here tonight to share our district data related to our student achievement. And it's two of us, but we definitely represent all of the educators of the Oak Park School District, all of the principals, the classroom teachers, the support staff, our paras, our OT, PT, resource room teachers, all of the people that go into providing an educational experience to our children in the Oak Park School District. So if we can have the presentation up, Jill. Okay, while they are pulling up the presentation, does the board have a copy of it in your board book? Yes, okay, so we do not print paper. Sorry. We'll know that for next time, Trustee Tyler. All right, but today's presentation, I know it's coming up on the screen. We don't want to belabor. First, we're going to set the stage and provide the data related to all of our assessments that we take here in the Oak Park School District. We will also examine our district goals in relationship to that data. We will offer up and define some strategic targets and then share our action plan moving forward. Wow. All right, thank you and good night. Okay, Godspeed. All right. Also, while we do take a moment to get this up, hopefully technology cooperates with us, we do want to highlight and recognize the newest member of the Teaching and Learning Department. In the audience tonight, we have our newest member, none other than our Oak Park wonderful teacher who has now turned the Director of Specialized Student Services. Let's clap it up for Dr. Omotola. There she is. And so we welcome her to the Teaching and Learning team. I am ecstatic to have someone who is very passionate about our school district and the children and providing high quality specialized student support services, not only for children who have access to those services, but to all the students in the Oak Park School District. So shout out to Dr. O. She's been in the district for quite some time, serving in a teacher capacity, and now she is elevated to this wonderful position to support the work of the Oak Park School District and all of its staff and students. So we welcome her to the team.
Thank you very much. I'm honored to join this. Thank you.
Not sure what's happening.
Oh,
sorry. We could add two. Yes.
Just
Continue. All right, there we go. All right. Thought we had a. All right, so first of all, we want to clarify the 6 different state and district assessments that our children have to take here. They are not all for each grade level. So we have them all listed here. First of all, children in grades 3 through 7, they take the MSTEP, which is our state assessment in both math and ELA. Our children in grade 8, they take the PSAT for state accountability purposes. However, we also give the PSAT to 9th graders. However, that is not a required state assessment, but we give it anyway to capture that data and information related to our students. As we know, our 11th graders in the state of Michigan have to take the SAT assessment as part of their MME or Michigan Merit Exam curriculum to graduate. Students in grades K through 8 take the iReady assessment in both math and ELA. Our scholars in 9th through 11th grade, they take the NWEA or MAP assessment in those grade areas for ELA and math. And finally, all of the children in grades K through 12 take our social emotional survey called Panorama, and we get that data around their social emotional development. So now I'm going to call up Ms. Bugziger for our data dive.
Hi, good evening, everyone. Good evening. Okay. All right, so first I'm going to go over our iReady. So iReady is our benchmark assessment that we take 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. And this gives us a baseline for where our students are
and so that way we can do instruction, personalized instruction for each of them. So this is our spring result from last year, and iReady showed that 37% of our students in K-8 were at grade level or within 1 year of grade level, which would then predict where we will be for the MSTEP results. The areas, the domains that they assess are are listed below. So phonological awareness, phonics, high frequency words, vocabulary, and comprehension. That's what our benchmark assessment will cover. And then the next slide on there is our spring as a district overview. So that gave you another picture of how each building was doing that met their typical growth. So percent of students in each building that met their annual typical growth. So that means that any third grader who takes this assessment anywhere in the United States will have an average typical growth for that student. So that is roughly about 53% of our students, K-8, met their annual typical growth that are growing at the rate of any other student across the United States in that grade level. And from that, we then get our personalized instruction on our various platforms and our teachers through their PLCs. This slide shows you, so our high school does NWA MAP assessments, and it's a very similar assessment in terms of what it predicts. It gives you the instructional level where they are at the time of taking it. And without going over every detail on there, you'll see that I'm looking at like 9th grade, the bar underneath it where it says the achievement for spring. So 34% of our 9th graders were on track to being at grade level at the time of spring. As far as what did it look like on our MSTEP, our PSAT, so we get assessed at the state level for grades 3 through 8 and 11. So in grades 3 through 8, in 2023 we were at 15%, and this spring we were at 17.6%. So as a district, 17.6% of our students are reading at or above grade level. We are proficient. In this next slide, we have our spring to spring, so spring 24 to spring 25 comparison of where we were. The gray chart, the gray bar is 2024, and the red one is 2025. And there's some areas of particularly strong growth. If you look in the district in 5th grade, we grew 9.1, which is pretty significant growth there. And then again in 7th grade, we grew 6.4. So English is definitely a strong point for the district, stronger than math is, and so you can see that by grade from year to year. Any questions on that?
No, not at this time. You have a question?
Oh, is my second?
Trustee Tyler?
The presentation is done?
No.
Okay.
Just a pause. I know it's a very,
Okay, I'll wait.
All right.
All right, while that comes up, we can still say what the
All
first
right.
step.
So as we get our technology together, the MSTEP measures 4 different claims or 4 different categories. It measures reading, writing, listening, and research and inquiry. So for claim 1 for reading, what it assesses is to make sure that a student can read a passage, identify the main idea, author's purpose, evidence. For writing, they can write an opinion that is informative or narrative, and the responses that can use examples from the text. Listening, they can listen to a short audio clip or speech and answer key questions in detail. And research and inquiry is compare data and ideas or 2 short stories, so passages, and draw a conclusion. Those are the 4 areas that MSTEP covers. So we looked at all of those, compiled the data to determine which one of our standards or which standards are often repeated and where does the district have the best strengths and areas of growth. So I'm going to pass this back over to Ms. Murphy.
All right, so when we analyzed the data, it came out that our students are doing really well in ELA, specifically around locating and answering the text. So to give them a passage to read, it'll ask them a question, and then they have to go back and find the textual evidence that supports their answer. That's one of our strengths in the district. Also, our 3rd graders are doing really well with looking at illustrations or text features, as they're called, to lift out information that they need to respond to a question. And then, again, we do have a strength on our children being able to quote directly from a text. So again, it'll ask them a question, they have to locate the answer and pull out the exact quote from the text that supports their reasoning. So we do have strengths in those areas. Some of the growth areas that we have are more so aligned to writing, and we do know that that is an area that we do need to improve in, because writing is really just them taking what they have read and learned and synthesizing it, right? Those higher order thinking skills, responding to a prompt or a question, and then making a claim, citing evidence, and having reasoning. So we know that we need to focus on writing in some of our upcoming professional learning, as well as materials that we're providing to the children. So summary standards for the ELA area, our students are very strong in comprehension of informational text, particularly again when they have to extract out quotes or information to respond to a question. One of our growth areas, though, is then translating that into writing. Students taking that information, synthesizing it, and then writing or responding to something. Our elementary students are showing proficiency in integrating text and visuals, kind of like those text features of maps and pictures and graphs, and they can do those things. But when we get to middle school and they have to look at multiple maps, graphs, pictures, and then come up with the synthesis, that's a growth opportunity for us. So in terms of our district reading performance, when we think about the different types of assessments our students take, so they take the iReady 3 times a year, fall, winter, and spring. That's called a benchmark assessment. It's intended to show growth toward an intended outcome. And then they take the M-STEP, which is a state assessment, which is proficiency. Now those are 2 different concepts, right? So our iReady NWEA tells us the rate at which our students are growing, and then it's correlated to their performance on the state assessment, because they only take that 1 time a year. And it is indicating that our students, it's kind of consistent, the information that we're getting. Our students continue to struggle most with vocabulary development and comprehension of informational text. They have a lot of foundational skills around reading and mathematics, as you'll see, but then applying that and synthesizing it is where the gap is that we need to make improvement. But our data does confirm that we can reliably predict, looking at our iReady and NWEA, how students will perform on the state assessment, because again, they only take that 1 time a year. When we look at our 11th graders for our SAT reading and writing district analysis, the majority of our students are in the approaching benchmark range, and again, this data is consistent across. This data indicates that our students do have literal comprehension, like if you ask them a question, they can go right to the text and find the answer. But then we need to build their skills up in deeper reading and synthesizing of what they are reading, and making inferences and reasoning. So they know how to go to something and find it. It's the next levels of thinking that we need to work on with them. So our district strengths and growth areas by SAT domain, again, our strength, command of evidence, this is one of the strands in SAT. Our students can locate and cite evidence from a text, and especially literal questions where they have to just go and find the answer. But we are developing in those inferencing, making inferences, taking the information that they learn, synthesizing it, and making an inference about maybe something that's coming next or what they think will happen next in the text. And then vocabulary, which is an area that we will begin to focus on. So that is our ELA data. Now we'll switch gears to mathematics data.
All right. So in this slide again, just like the ELA iReady, this is our iReady for math, and this indicates that 23% of our students were at or above grade level in math spring of last year. And then the 4 domains that iReady assesses: number of operations, algebraic thinking, measurement, data, and geometry. So again, across, and this is K-8 for this. And keep in mind that when we give you the data for the state assessments, that is only for grades 3 through 11, and it does not count for the K2 because K2 doesn't have state assessments. But iReady does measure K2. So, and this next one, again, just like the other one, this is comparison building to building, grade to grade, so we can see how many of our students hit their percentage of typical growth. That typical growth is any student in that grade level across the nation that would score that specific score, how much they would grow. So we're in the high 40s across the district. In English, we were in the mid 50s as far as how many of them. So going back to math being a stronger point in the district, knowing that we need more work in the math department. The next slide that we're looking at is our high school again. This is our NWEA map. and that is the benchmark assessment that we give to the high school students. And the area that we're looking at here, in 10th grade, you see that 22%, I believe, is at or ready. So these are our 11th graders this year that will be taking the assessment. So these are 11th grade, our big ticket 11th graders, and making sure that we're focusing on where they are, how much they grow. And then as a district, so this is our state assessments. This is our MSTEP, PSAT 8, and 11th grade. So based on those results, this year we're 4.4% proficient. Going back to 2023 with 2.1, the following year 3.4, and now 4.4. So we are growing minimally, but positive signs for that minimal growth. And then, like the ELA slides, this is our spring 24 to spring 25 math comparison. And our biggest areas of strength as far as where we grew in grade level was the 4th and 5th grade. Again, we acknowledge that it is minimal growth, but we want to make sure that we celebrate and we recognize that there is growth across the boards. All right, and what does MSTEP math cover? So MSTEP math has 4 claims: concepts, procedures, problem solving, communicating, reasoning, and modeling and data analysis. All right, and then we did the similar thing. We tried to align how many of the standards were repeated to make sure that we find our strengths and our weaknesses per grade level, so that way we can customize our instructional plans to match our biggest strengths and growth. In 3rd grade and 7th grade, we see that our strongest cluster is measurement and data, and we have some work to do with fractions and decimals in grade 6. So it gives us a kind of a beginning of a road plan to say this is our strengths, here's our areas that we need improvement in, so that way we can really hone in and focus on those cohorts of students. So I'm going to go pass it back to Ms. Birdie.
Great. So some of our district-wide MSTEP math challenges and strengths, again, at some of our grade levels, our students are demonstrating a strength in fractions, decimals, and computational fluency, but we do have ongoing challenges in geometry, measurement, and applied problem solving. So when we look at our SAT data analysis for mathematics, many of our students are falling in that same approaching benchmark band. We do have a strength in the heart of algebra, where our students do show comfort with procedural mathematics. It's when we start getting to that multi-step conceptual mathematics when we start seeing a decline. And this is similar to the reading data, which is showing the same thing, which is they have the basics and the foundation is taking them a little bit higher in both mathematics and reading. That's what our data is showing. So some implications for mathematics instruction, because our kids have the foundational pieces and they need the higher order, we need to start shifting our instructional practice from how, so that rote, traditional algorithm that we all grew up with, to the why of the mathematics, and that's going to help them take it deeper. Connecting things to real world, so especially measurement and data, when we're cooking or when you're measuring something that you need to mount a TV or whatever the case may be, attaching more of the math to that real world understanding so that they can conceptualize why they're learning what they're learning. And then we have some targeted PD that we're looking into perhaps for the winter session and or to start next school year. And then we have a lot of movement in our professional learning communities. Those are called PLCs, where our teacher teams get together weekly to look at their student data with their administrators. They have to do it too. They get with their teacher teams to look at student data to see where the growth opportunities and where our students making gains.
All right, so in this chart, the question always comes up, what's the correlation between our benchmark assessments and the state assessments? Are they working? Are we over-testing our students, or are we getting valuable data? So we did a crosswalk of what the iReady domain assesses, and then how it aligns with the claims for MSTEP, where the focus is for those claims, and then the interpretation that we have from it. So what we're seeing is very consistent, as Ms. Murphy just said. We are seeing the same alignment between our benchmark assessments and our state assessments. Our students have the foundation, but they are not taking it to the next step. So now that we've done an alignment of what that next step is, what standards we need to focus on, and what clusters, that gives us the roadmap for the instructional plans that we have. Same thing was done in this next one for the NWA iReady to MSTEP and College Board assessments. And again, it confirms that same district pattern that we have, that we're getting that good foundation, but not being able to say how. You know why, but taking them to the next step of how. The next slide here, again, and I know that everyone has seen this before, our MyKIP, our what used to be called our District Improvement Plan, but our Michigan Continuous Improvement Plan. And as part of that, we do have a mathematic goal. So by 2027, 8% of all of our students will be proficient in math on MSTEP and College Board assessments, that's the PSAT 8 and the SAT. And the reading goal is by 2027, 23% of our students will be proficient. Underneath it, you'll see where we were in 2023 up to 25, and that was already presented in other slides. And then we have one more goal, which is the sense of belonging goal for our SEL, and that is by 2027, 75% of our students in K-12 will have a strong sense of belonging at 75%. And this is where we were and where we're going. So 2 years ago, we were at 43%. Last year, we were at 47%, and we've had a bit of an increase to 51%. And I think as a district, we can attribute that to our Capturing Kids' Hearts effort and just the complete cultural shift that we are attempting to make through Capturing Kids' Hearts and making sure that we're putting a lot of focus on social emotional learning throughout the buildings.
All right, so we just gave you the data, which is the what. Now we're going to tell you the now what, which is our instructional action plan. How are we going to respond? So this is a picture of our current roadmap that we designed with our superintendent and the Office of Teaching and Learning and our instructional crew over here. What are our instructional priorities for beginning in 2024 all the way through 27? And I just want to call your attention really quickly to this graphic down here. Anytime you're trying to make whole-scale movement or change with a whole group of people or an organization, research tells us it takes 3 to 7 years to see results of that change, because you're trying to move a whole gamut of people. 3,000 students, 300 staff members. It's going to take a minute for it to show. We are making incremental growth. We do have a lot of work to do, and we're not oblivious to that. There is work to be done. But we do have a roadmap that we believe if we commit to and continue on this path, that we will begin to see, continue to see that growth and accelerated growth more than what we have been seeing. So these are instructional priorities for 3 years that we have put this together with our superintendent. And these are 5 big buckets, as we call them: what we teach, a guaranteed and viable curriculum; how we teach using the graduate release a responsibility framework; how we collaborate, that's with meeting with our teacher teams, not only our teacher teams, but our admin team. They have to do data meetings with me every other week, okay, to talk about their data and what we're doing about it. How we do business is our 4th bucket, and that's where we focus on capturing kids' hearts. And how we lead, which is, again, our principals working together to improve outcomes for our students with their teams. So I won't read everything on these slides. You have seen these before, but I just want to call out what each of these priorities mean. Our priority 1 is a guaranteed and viable curriculum. All research says that's the first number 1 thing you need to do if you want a high-performing district. Identify the priority standards and skills that you want kids to walk away with from each grade level. This is the work that we've been doing, and I want to shout out DeShayla Wright, who is my partner, our partner over in Teaching and Learning. She's my ELA district coordinator, who's been working really hard in the Office of Teaching and Learning and with our teacher teams to make sure that we have these units in place for both math and ELA. I also want to thank the district, because a part of this are a lot of the resources that you all approved for us to purchase for our children. So SABIS for ELA, elementary and high school, and then a new math program that I came before you all a couple months ago to get approved. That's all in lockstep with creating this guaranteed and viable curriculum to make sure all of our kids have high quality materials and all of our teachers are on the same page, moving in the same direction, which is key. Our second priority is the graduate release of responsibility, and this is just showing the teacher can't do all the work. That's why our data is showing kids have the foundation, but we have to release them to do more, and that's all this framework is showing. If the teacher is doing all the work and the kids are doing nothing, when they get to the assessment, that's what we see, right? So we have to release responsibility for their learning back to them, show them how to do it. You can lead them to the water, but they got to drink, okay? So show them how to do it, but then they have to apply that higher order thinking, taking ownership. That's how we're going to get to those higher levels of improvement. So
Students don't learn if we do everything for them. Nobody learns if you do everything for them. You got to do some of it yourself. So that's all this model is, lifting up, gradual release of responsibility. The teacher's going to show some things, then I'm going to give it to you, student, to show that you are understanding what I'm asking you to do, so that when it's time for an assessment or just life, you know what to do. So that's that focus. The last thing, almost last, high-performing collaborative teams. Everybody in the building is on a team. You got a culture team, you got POC grade level teams, department teams, SEL team, admin team, everybody's on a team. Because research says without a team, you can do nothing. Everything has to happen on a team. There's no one person, no one man, no one woman that's going to get the job done. So everybody's on a team to move the ship forward collectively. Priority 4 is capturing kids' hearts. Again, thank you to the board for approving that contract so that we can continue to capture our students' heart and create not only academically sound, but emotionally and mentally well children in conjunction with their families. And almost 2 more slides. Personalized learning paths. So again, thank you to the board for approving our iExcel purchase as well as our iReady learning path. We know that when the students take their assessments, their benchmark assessments in fall, winter, and spring, the system automatically creates personal paths for them based on how they scored on the assessment. So that's called differentiation. Each kid is getting what the test is showing that they need, in addition to their grade level instruction with their teacher. So they get a both and, right? So I'm teaching you grade level content, but I'm also giving you iExcel, iReady, and some small group instruction to attend to those gaps in your learning that we're noticing in the data. And finally, to a quote from our former First Lady, Michelle Obama. Education is the great equalizer. It opens doors to opportunity, breaks the cycle of poverty, and empowers individuals to build a better future for themselves and for their community. We put this in here to let the board know that we understand the heavy load that we carry in providing a high-quality education to our students. We're not oblivious. We also recognize some of the institutional barriers that our children have to come up and our families come up against that other communities don't have to. But that's even more reason why we dig in deep. We come every day, our principals show up every day, our staff show up every day to do the hard work that's, quite frankly, a lot of people don't want to do, as evidenced by the number of vacancies in education, period. It's a hard work, but we are up to the challenge. We know that there is work to be done. We do have a roadmap, and we do endeavor to get better for our children because the world awaits them. Yes. And that's our presentation.
Does anybody have any questions? Or comments or concerns?
I just have, not concern. First, thank you. Very detailed presentation. This is why I told everyone that this is what we needed, as far as when you see what you see on social media and it's like we're at the bottom of the barrel. There's not any context. You don't get to see all the data. And I can see the growth. I remember the 2023 data, and it was a bit, you know, I see the improvement. I see it. I think now it's more of a, and forgive me if I say this wrong, how do we scaffold this? It's kind of like a I do, you do, we do. How do we reach them in the sense that you've got the foundation, you've got the baseline. How do we take you to the next level? I hear what you're saying as far as that's concerned. We've implemented the curriculum that we approved, so we'll see that on the next assessment. So you pretty much answered the question that I had. I see the growth. I know, you know, slow and steady wins the race, and I know that there's still not, it's not where we want to be, but better to see some growth than none at all. If we see none at all, then of course we really need to ask some questions. But kudos for all the hard work. I know everyone works really, really hard. I know that you've got a lot from, you know, outside interference and a lot of, I won't say hate, but it wasn't really nice. But I appreciate the hard work. Thank you for the presentation.
Anybody else?
I do.
Okay.
When would the next time you be doing the assessment? Is for winter time? Okay.
December to January.
And then you do spring again.
Yes, right.
So we'll have a different number in the summer probably, come up with something. And you'll present that to us then? We're
it's
gonna
the
wait
will of
till
the
then?
board.
Okay. I would like to see the difference, because I'm sure it's gonna be one, you know.
Trustee Tyler?
Yes. First of all, thank you for the presentation. It's definitely great. But a couple things just stuck out to me. I saw where you said the 3 to 7 years it takes to turn around. And so I do see growth each year. But I think now we're going into that 4th year with this administration growing. And so I do think that we're headed in the right direction. And so my question is that what are we doing to develop the teachers? So I know a lot of times central office is developed and going to development. What are we doing to develop the teachers so that we can get past this hump that we've been over? Because, you know, as Trustee Clark said, you know, people are still watching, but we see growth now that is on data form to us. But everyone else don't see us out there and like that. You all are still working behind the scenes, hard work, stand up late, teachers are still doing, but they only get to see that end result. And that end result is that we're really at the bottom. And so I want to know, how do we come from the bottom to the top, as my teacher would say. And so what are we doing to develop our teachers so that we can get across this hump? I think a lot of times, because I heard you say, you know, a lot of our kids has, you know, home issues. They have all type of stuff that we deal with. You know, I come from Linwood. Okay, so I understand the, you know, the culture that we're in, and people are still having those problems. But how do we, as a district, move this train really, I think I want to use that word, progress really fast, to move this train forward quickly, than to continually going over this cycle of just seeing minimum growth. I thank God for growth. Hear me, growth is growth, and we all are excited. But when they don't get to see this, as Trustee Clark said, it still has us at the bottom. So what are we doing to really develop our teachers? Because I know central office and everybody else get a lot of development, but I don't hear that. And maybe that may be something that I think could help the development. I love the Capturing Kids Heart. When I was here, we did the Capturing Kids Heart, and it does work. You know, it really does work. And so what are we doing as a district to move this train progressively quickly?
Yes.
So that we don't continue to make Facebook pages, as Trustee said, and, you know, make the news of just being at the bottom, because we've been this 3 to 4 years now, and we've definitely seen progression. How do we make it a little faster?
Yes,
To double a number.
To accelerated growth.
Yes.
I'm with you, Trustee Tyler,
Thank
and that's
you.
what we all want to see. We don't want to see our children or our district being disparaged in any of these social media forums. We do understand there's always the public court of public opinion. We always understand that. But to your question, I think there are 3 key things that we're doing to address specifically what you're asking around teacher development. First, we worked in conjunction with our last negotiation to create early release days, specifically on the calendar, to provide teachers that early release time to engage in curriculum development work, to engage in data cycles, to engage and to talk to one another about what they're each doing and what support they need. So that's one of the levers that we're pulling with early release. The second one is our teachers, any staff member can submit professional learning requests to further their pedagogy, their craft. The only thing we ask them is is it in alignment with what we're doing? Okay, so that's one of the key questions that I ask them. Is it going to be in lockstep with improving outcomes for students? I can't send you to, well, with anybody going to Alaska anyway, because that's not the question. But I can't send you to Grand Rapids and Traverse City just because you want to. So
do we provide them with a list, or maybe to help them develop? Do we provide them with training? I mean, well, you know, say maybe the training is in Lansing. Do we provide them with that, or do they come to you all?
Yeah, we typically don't, only because Oakland Schools, our ISD, does a wonderful job of emailing those. They have a whole catalog that they share out each month on their listservs that our staff can sign up for, and many of them do. We did just send a staff survey on Friday because we have a PD day coming up on November. We want to be responsive to our teachers. So the Office of Teaching and Learning, we, in conjunction with our superintendent, we asked staff, what do you need? What type of professional learning do you want? We just sent that out on Friday to get their input. So make sure that we're aligning our supports with what they really need to be successful with our children. So we're listening to their voices. The third thing that we're pulling on is those POCs. A couple years ago, we had the data teams process, and I know you was here when we had the data teams process. Research says that it works when teachers all sit together collectively with their building leader or in their grade level or department teams, and they really analyze student data. How are the kids doing in relationships to what I'm teaching them right now? Okay. Then we get better. That was the accelerated growth we even experienced a couple years ago. So we're leaning back into that process of data teams and PLCs to really look at student by student, who got it, who didn't, what do I need to do, and we're providing that time and support through the Office of Teaching and Learning. So early release days, they have an opportunity to further their craft. They submit PD requests, and the only thing I ask is that it's in lockstep with our priorities, and you explain to me what you're gonna get out of it, and how you're gonna come back and share it with your department. That's another one of my questions, because everybody can't go, right? But if you're going, how you gonna come back and share the wealth? And then the third thing is those data team meetings that we know work when we really take a look at that data and make improvements.
Thank you so kindly.
You're welcome.
So they both asked my questions, so I'm good. I do want to say that I appreciate that you guys see the problem. You were able to tell us what it is, and now you have a plan for, getting our scores up. Again, with the socioeconomic status, it's probably going to be a slower process, but we have to keep that in our minds, that we can't keep comparing our schools to the schools that's on the top of the list. Literally, you can't. They going through completely different things. It's a lot to go with that. So just please give our children grace when it comes to that. That's all I ask. Yes.
I'm not saying, you definitely give grace. You definitely give grace. But looking at the chart that's over us, I believe we can reach that. And, and with our kids, going through whatever everyone's going through. But I think sometimes we just have to, hold people accountable to another level.
And try something different.
That's it.
Try something different.
And so I'm definitely on board for what you're saying, the grace of giving the kids, and then teachers as well. But I think that trying something different in what we're doing, I believe we headed up in the right direction. But I think, because I've been here, and I've seen it, and like she said, with that data team, that's a change. And so, in meeting like that, I believe, and so I just wanted to, say that we are doing great, but I'm sitting in this seat, and I'm with the old president would say, he was like, we gotta do something better. We gotta do it quickly in my eyes.
If I could piggyback on Trustee Tyler, it's a collaborative effort. We can give all the tools, we can have all the training, we can have all the development, we can have everything sitting there, but it's a collaborative effort between us and the families and the kids. So that, as you said, the releasing of responsibility. I can give you everything. I can give you everything you need, all the tools to learn whatever you need to do, but if you don't do what you need to do, you're not going to comprehend it, you're not going to learn it. So it has to be a collaborative group effort that we bring our families in and let them know, we're here to support you, but you also have to help us. We can't do it all on our own. We all have to, I hate to sound very kumbaya, but it's true. You have to, it's a group effort. We're all a team. When you have a parent, you have a teacher, you have a principal, however you want to look at it, it's all a team group collaborative effort. And if we want to ensure the success of our students, we all have to collaboratively work together and do what's necessary to get them to where they need to go. I don't like seeing that there's only such a small proficiency and we're sending them to college. That worries me a bit, because how can we ensure their success and they're not where they need to be? You know, I want to help them. I want to do whatever is necessary, and I'm sure everyone else on the board feels the same way. We want to support and help and do what is necessary to give these children success. Maybe we're not Birmingham. Maybe we're not Beverly Hills. That's fine. We don't have to be. We can be who we are and do what we need to do and make sure our children are successful. It really is just that. I mean, it's not that simple, but it is, in a sense. It's a collaborative effort. That's all.
Very well said. Okay, nothing else, nothing further from you guys? All right, we'll move to,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies.
We move to, item 5C, superintendent remarks.
Yes, thank you. I purposely asked to rearrange my remarks because, and I'm glad the city's here represented, because there's a few things I want to address. From the outside, a lot of people could say whatever they want to say and critique however they want to critique. So I'm a product of the school district. So let me tell you what my GPA was in high school. 1.9. 1.9. I did not pass a single assessment that was created from an organization that did not meet my style of learning. It does not assess. So I take great offense to a test that I don't put a lot of weight in because it changes. It changes. Every 3-5 years it changes. Do I put value in it? Absolutely not. I put no value in that data point by itself. But the measuring of a student's growth, I take great value in. Okay? You got 4 alumni here. Do you think that was the capstone of your life, graduating from the high school? Or did you reach your full potential sometime after high school? I know when I reached mine, I didn't get anything less than a B+ in college. I did my bachelor's, my master's, and my ed specialist. I was nearly close to my PhD. But then we decided, hey, kids, okay? And kids. 4. I say that to say, you don't know what these kids are going through. You do not know. The mayor does not know. The city does not know. The people on Facebook do not know. I know because I see some of the things, and it's heartbreaking. Yet they wake up and they come to school every day. Sometimes apologetic for not being able to provide, or sometimes the parents are in tears because they can't do what they could do. Does the M-STEP measure that? Nope, absolutely not. But I find it interesting that people comment when it suits their political agenda or political narratives, but they take no vested interest in coming in and saying, what can we do to a kindergartner who doesn't have a book bag like my kid does at Troy? Or the ability to pay the teacher to come to the house to tutor your 4th grader, which is what I do for my daughter. They don't have that ability. We are that ability. The principals that are the dads, the moms, the grandparents, the aunts, they provide clothing, they provide shelter, food, everything, you name it. That MSEP does not test for that. It does not. And people that critique, please critique. The reason I don't address it is because what drives me is the kids. Those kids that came in, you think they're the only ones in this district that are going to do something? Absolutely not. You will see them rise and you will see them accomplish. All we got to do is believe in them. Now, there is not a single person under my watch that just comes to work and says, oh, I'm gonna do nothing today. Believe me, they'll attest to that. Not a single person. There's times I have to send her home. I'm gonna need you to go home. It's 9 o'clock at night, what are you doing? She's like, oh, just one more thing. And then, when we're not doing this, we're researching. I'm sending them things about, hey, look what Mississippi did about this thing. Let's talk about letters. Let's talk about this. A teacher emails me and says, I'd like to do this and like to present. There is hardly a no coming out of our mouth. It's not the teachers. It's not the kids. Not the parents. But we have to break a cycle. It's a cycle. And poverty is at the root of it. It is at the root of it. And so, but I would not trade any of our people for people in Birmingham or Bloomfield Hills or not in a million years. Because I know what they're capable of doing. Does the data define who they are? No. Absolutely not. So my preaching thing, it bothers me when I hear it. Because I'm a product of Oak Park Schools. I am Oak Park Schools. Went to elementary at Key, to Roosevelt, Oak Park High School. You know what I got out of Oak Park High School? Someone who just believed in me. That's it. They believed in me. And the rest I grew into. It wasn't. Now, on the other hand, my sister, yes, rock star, AAA, all A's, presidential scholarship, went to Ferndale because CASA couldn't offer her anything, and Oak Park High School, and they bused her to Ferndale. Yeah, Oak Park caters it all. That's why we have students getting full ride scholarships and athletes and all of that. But we got great kids too. And even the kids that are not the best academic performers, that might be great in the arts. We have 101 band students. That's crazy. They were just performing in downtown. You know, that's amazing. We got 7 state championships on track. That's amazing. Our football team, we're still hopeful, but we're doing better. Our volleyball, our soccer. So it is a lot, and I can't let this meeting end or the public be able to say something about, oh, your test scores. Okay, critique all you want. Put your boots on, strap them on, and get in there with us. Until you could do that, I don't want to hear what you got to say. I don't. Until you go help that family that's homeless, who is embarrassed to send their kid to school because they don't have any clothes, that breaks my heart, then critique. Until you walk a mile in their shoe, and I'm sure I'll get criticized by a lot of people, but frankly, I don't care. I don't care. Okay. Sorry about it. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I apologize.
You break?
All right.
Admission?
I'm sorry.
Huh?
I'm good. I'm good now.
Take it.
Yeah.
Take it. You need admission?
No, I don't drink, but
You're right there. Right there.
was that on camera?
Yeah.
Our band just performed at the Cancer Walk. It was amazing.
Yes.
Our board, I've never seen them so active all over the place. That's my first. I see you guys everywhere. I don't even try to analyze where you guys are, but I just know. I'll run into people, you guys, which is amazing. And staff feel connected to you, which is amazing.
Same.
I might be in late to work tomorrow, board. I'm just telling you that right now, in case anyone's listening.
What'd you say, times 5?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
with that, Madam President.
All right, thank you for that, Superintendent. We will now move to item number 6, public participation. Can you please read the guidelines?
Public to comment. Because the Oak Park Board of Education values public meetings, not just meetings in public, we welcome public comments on school issues. Speakers are asked to express themselves in a civil manner with due process for the dignity and privacy of others who may be affected by public comments. The public comment portion of the meeting cannot be used to make personal attacks against a school board member or school district employee that disrupt the order of the meeting and are totally unrelated to the manner in which the member or employee performs his or her duties. Speakers should be aware that if statements violate the rights of others under the law of defamation or invasion of privacy, such as comments result in legal liability. Most comments can be concisely stated in 3 minutes, and the board respectfully asks that comments remain focused on topic or issue and not directed at specific personnel or board members. So we have Ms. Mayor Marion McCollum today. Let's hear you speak, Ms. Mayor.
Thank you so much. I am a retired teacher. For those of you who don't know me, taught school 32 years. School is my heart. You can take the teacher out of the classroom. You can't take the classroom out of the teacher. Good evening, President Madison, Vice President Clark, Secretary Perryman-Tanks, trustees, Superintendent Abdullahad, who has a good heart, Assistant Superintendent Murphy, and guests, and welcome to new trustee Rogers. We have successes to celebrate and challenges to face. Oak Park Schools is the district in the heart of the city and the one that we depend on. The city and the district are in the same boat. If the school district does well, more people want to move into the city, and it's good for us. So your success is our success. We stand ready to partner with you to move our district toward its vision and help, if possible, implement the plan to get us there. You have a difficult job. It's difficult working in a divided board. I was on a divided council, and it's nerve-wracking at times, but by pulling together for the good of our kids, I know you guys can handle it. Thank you for your service to the district and for enlightening us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Mayor. Anybody else? You have any more? Okay, thank you. We will now, excuse me?
Oh, say any more.
We will now move to item number 7, action items. Number 7A, board resolution, waste management contract agreement.
Resolved that the Oak Park Board of Education accepts the contract rate agreement with Waste Management for a 3-year term, which includes the following key provisions. A reduction of approximately $300 per haul for Oak Park High School compactor services. A reduction of approximately $200 per haul for district-wide haul-away services. Elimination of the monthly haul-away fee when services are not utilized. No increase in monthly rates for 6-yard and 8-yard dumpster services.
All right, anyone second?
Second.
All right, the motion was made,
No, this is an action.
oh. Okay, so the motion was made by trustee Clark and seconded by, was you? Trustee Perryman-Tanks. Ms. Greer, could you please call the roll?
Clark,
Yes.
Madison.
Yes.
Perriman-Tank.
Yes.
Rogers.
Yes.
And Tyler.
Yes.
Okay. 7A is passed. We will now move to item 8, information. Information items. Given that the board meeting scheduled for November 24th, 2025 falls during the holiday break when schools are closed, should we proceed with canceling the meeting?
So we put that on there for discussion because all the schools are closed on the 24th. I mean, the whole week. the 24th through that. And then the district itself is closed Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So we're asking, because that's the second meeting, if we do Students of the Month, no one shows up, should we just go ahead and cancel that meeting? And, you know, we have our normal business, and then a week later, December, we already have a meeting there, so we're not missing much, if that's something that would interest you guys.
So it's only one meeting in November if we.
There's 2 meetings. There's one on the 24th.
And you're saying if we
Yeah.
cancel, it'll be one meeting.
One meeting.
So will we be doing back-to-back December 1st and December 8th meetings?
No, you would
Or
have
we
your
just-
normal December, because it's not
Just-
far.
okay, Yeah, I got you.
I would go ahead and cancel
I have no problem.
I don't have a problem either.
Thanksgiving.
it. Yeah, that's
I won't be
Thanksgiving.
here anyway today.
Get a motion.
Yeah.
Vote it.
I can make a motion, okay, go ahead. I make the resolve that the Oak Park School Board cancels the scheduled November 24th, 2025 school board meeting during our holiday break when the schools are going to be closed.
Motion made by trustee Clark. Is there a second? Second by trustee Pearman Tanks. Ms. Greer, please call the roll.
Tyler,
Yes.
Rogers,
Yes.
Perriman Tanks.
Yes.
Madison,
Yes.
and Clark.
Yes.
Okay, the meeting is canceled. We will now go to item 9, communications. Any communication from the administration?
Yes. Hi again.
Hello.
Just as a brief update, we do have our fall parent-teacher conferences coming this Wednesday at all of our schools, Lessinger through the high school. The hours are 1 to 3 p.m. for our parents that may have to work in the evening, and then 5 to 7 p.m. For our parents that work in the daytime. So it is a half day of school. All children will be released at either 11:45 or 11:55, depending on K5 or 612. And parent-teacher conferences are on Wednesday, 1 to 3 and 5 to 7. Because of parent-teacher conferences, there is a slight change in our early release calendar. Normally, we have the 3rd Wednesday for early release, but for the month of October, it will be the 4th Wednesday for early release, which all students get out 2 hours before the end of the school day, because parent-teacher conferences is this Wednesday. And once again, I do want to just shout out our building principals. It is National Principal Appreciation Month. So if anybody finds it in their heart to share a little trinket or a little gift of appreciation with them, please do so. The whole month of October, it is National Principal Appreciation Month. Thank you.
Anybody else? No? All right, any communications from the board? Trustee Clark?
Go. You go.
I've been cutting y'all off.
No, you're fine. I'm good. I can go
I want to say, I went to curriculum night at Oak Park High School. It was very enlightening. The band did play for a second, and I see how interested the teachers were, the ones that volunteered to stay that evening. And the parents start coming in and look like they're, it's all about the parents to me at the end of the day. And then we went over to Key for game night.
Yes.
And that was nice. They were so interactive. The kids were so cute. And I went to Key, like Angel said, born and bred Oak Park, K through 12. Key, Roosevelt, and Oak Park. I didn't go to college, but I make 6 figures.
Okay.
Make it happen. You see what I'm saying? I ain't had no 1.9. I'm doing pretty good, and I didn't go to college. And so Rogers went to Oak Park schools too. So I understand what Angel said. It was a lot different back when we went in the 90s and all that. It's not the same. Because my son graduated last year, and that's when I realized it was not, well, I knew it wasn't the same. But it's going to get better. We're going to work with it, but it's the parents. We have to involve everybody. And that's the only thing. But I see the parents were there, elementary school, and everything, the curriculum, they start coming in. I was happy about that because I know that's very important. But then I went to the football game. Was that 2 weeks ago? I miss homecoming. So like he said, Oak Park, the football, gonna work on it. But we gonna get together. I enjoy going to all the events I can make.
Thank you for that, Trustee President. Thanks, Trustee Tyler.
I'm gonna give it to Clark.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it to Trustee. Yes, go
Trustee
ahead.
Clark.
I got it? Okay.
Yeah, you got
I'm gonna try and keep it short because I know everybody tired, everybody wanna go home. I got an 8 a.m. class, we gotta get this done. All right. So first, I would like to say congratulations to Dr. Oluwole
Yes.
for her promotion to Director of Specialized Services. I had the pleasure of having her as my son's teacher last year. And I know my baby was not an angel every day, but Dr. Oluwole was very patient with us. I told my husband when she was promoted that if anyone knows special education, Dr. O does. She is committed, she is dedicated, she is well-loved, and I have no doubt that she is going to thrive in this position. So congratulations to you. Thank you for everything. I look forward to working with you. It's going to be great. Youth recognition. So I am the chair for youth recognition for Oak Park Youth Assistance, and we are planning to do an event next year. I'm sorry to kind of rip on Student of the Month, but we're kind of modeling it after that. But we're going to have a Zoom soon, and we're going to do some flyers, and we're going to send them out to the schools. So I will coordinate with Brandy, and I'll coordinate with you to let everyone know how we're going to do it. Once we have the Zoom and whatnot, we'll go from there. I would like to give sincere thanks and gratitude to the Assistant League Operations School Bell. I did a little background check. It was founded in 1993 and is serving Wayne, Oakland, and Macomb County. It is a nonprofit and a fully hands-on, all-member volunteer organization. And since 1995, they have improved the lives of 64,000 different children with clothing distributions, and this year they have done 3,479 recipients. So on October 1st, every student at Pepper got a duffel bag. I cannot believe my child got this duffel bag on the bus, but it worked. But he had a new winter coat, gloves, a hygiene kit, socks, underwear, shirts, and a book. And it was a significant blessing. And for us, you know, we're okay, we can do it, but I can only imagine how much more of a blessing it is for other families that may be facing these things that we don't know. So I would love to give them sincere thanks and thank you for that. Lastly, we have from OPYA, Holiday Help is coming up. If you would like to donate as far as for helping families in the city, I have information about that. I have a flyer. I don't know, I know everybody's not friends with me on social media, but I have the flyer if you want to see it, if you need any information. But we're working on that too, and I think that's all I got. Sorry.
Thank you, Trustee Clark. Trustee Tyler.
That's why I let you go first.
No, you should.
First of all, I want to say thank you to the board for allowing myself and President Madison to go to our retreat with the superintendent. It was definitely amazing. Definitely had the opportunity to attend several classes. It was so much information that I believe some of the information that we need to implement in our district. So first of all, thank you for that. And then they put me in that car with no person, and then they just put me in that car. But it was just a great experience just to be with our president as well as our superintendent. So I'd like to thank you all for that. And so just a couple of communications from me. I think that in us moving forward in this district, like I said, it is my heart. I eat and sleep and breathe Oak Park. And I've done it for the last 12 years, from one side as an employee, as a parent, and now as a trustee. And so I've seen everything. I've seen the kids that didn't have, when I had to, myself and Falk, going all the way down to Dexter, picking kids up and bringing them to school. Had to go to Inkster and pick up kids. Had to go to Shelby Township and pick up kids. So I understand where we're at, understand both sides, but I still have to say that if we continue to always thinking about where we have been and not where we're going, it will tend to kind of break us. But in that process, regardless of what barriers we may come through, we still got to be able to move forward. we still have to be able to move forward and get these kids growing. My son graduated from Oak Park. My niece graduated from Oak Park. I still have about 10 family members in here right now that's in Oak Park. And so I know that we can do it, and I know it's just not a test, but at some place in our growth, we have to see it on paper. Okay, and so that's where I'm at. And so I am grateful for, being amongst the team and making sure that everyone is treated the same way across the board. I mean, all board members, all teachers, all administrators, just treated fairly across the board. And that's where I believe our district needs to definitely, move in that capacity, as well as myself and Heather Tank and President. Well, we've been hanging out at all type of games and little parent nights and curriculum nights. And so if anyone know me, I enjoy that. I enjoy just going and being amongst the people. When you are amongst the people, you can feel their heart.
Tyler, you ready to bite me? What's going on?
Game separate. And so I'm excited. I heard the prom was very nice. Homecoming was very nice. And I know we just got some few challenges that we still just need to just home in on so that we can get across this hump and put us in a good light. Like we do got track, we got all of that. But sometimes we got to be, it'd be good to have all of that, but where's the academics at sometimes? And so that's where I'm at. And so I'm just grateful to be amongst this team where we're growing and going in the upper direction. And so I think that's all I got to say here. I feel like I'm about to start preaching. I feel it. I did. So, I am grateful and just to be a part of this team. I am.
Thank you, Trustee Tyler. Trustee Rogers, please.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I just want to extend an invitation to an Oak Park skating party. I'm a part of a group of individuals who graduated from Oak Park, and we're basically trying to keep the alumni together and alive. So there's a skating party this Thursday at North End Roller Rink. I will give everyone here a free ticket if you can join us. We are raising money for a all-alumni reunion for next year. Trying to figure out ways to just bring the alumni together. I know they've had reunions in the past and they've been kind of small. So what we're trying to do is just get everyone together, get some more contact information from the alumni so that we can start having larger events. So that's this Thursday at Northland from 6 to 9. And also piggyback on what Superintendent said. I came from a school where our kids were the kids you were talking about. They didn't have homes. Most of them were from juvenile detention centers. They didn't have anything. They came with not even a pencil. And our test scores reflected a lot of that. Not having homes. We didn't have security in our building. We called the police. Or we handled everything ourselves. It was 100 kids in our school. We probably had about 8 fights a day. Alternatives. We were the feeder school for DPS when they were kicked out of DPS. The feeder school for the detention centers. The Samaritan Center. And the kids have problems. They have a lot of problems, but a lot of them want to just be heard and be listened to. And we found we had one-on-ones with a lot of kids, and you find out a lot. You find out that they can't read, and here you are about to graduate. You find out how they kind of skirted by and slid through the system. And it's a lot of underlying elements that factor into that. So thank you for just being the caring soul that you are. Hopefully we can do something in this district. I'm a product of Oak Park Schools, born and raised in Oak Park. I did leave from middle school and thought it was brighter on the other side. It was not. It was not. I went to private school. It was not. I came back. And graduated from Oak Park. So I'm happy to be here and happy to be giving back to the school that raised me and the community that raised me.
Thank you, Trustee Rogers. Okay, last but not least, 3. Okay, I just want to give 2 instances of what we spoke about earlier and kind of piggybacking off of what Superintendent Abdullah had said. Just want to give a little bit of perspective for the people who don't get to see these type of things, but I saw my son's best friend after school when I was dropping his equipment off to him, and he was like, I'm like, hey, where you going? And he was like, I'm going to the high school. And I'm like, with who? And he's like, by myself, And then from Opa to the high school, you got to cross 9 Mile, a little tiny 6th grader, That's probably something he had thought about all day, the anxiety. I don't even want to cross 9 miles. I swear, during rush hour? No. You know, so that's things that they have to think about and, you know, all day. And one more instance, I had 3, but I'm gonna just say the last one. Last year, I remember shaking a 12th grader's hand on the stage for graduation. 2 days later, I go up to Oak Park High for, I don't know, I don't remember what, but it was, you know, one of the last days for the other children. And he was up there, and I'm like, why you up here? And he was like, I just came to eat lunch. You know, so that's things that people do not get to see. You know, these kids going through a lot. That's all I wanted to say on that. Congratulations to Oakland football team on being undefeated currently. Their first home game is tomorrow at Oak Park High School at 4:30. If y'all want to come and help me give snacks to them boys. I know. She won't be on a flight tomorrow. And I did not know before I even wrote this. I wrote this on my own before Ms. Murphy let us know that it was National Principal Appreciation Month. I would like to acknowledge the fact that I see every principal every day, literally. I don't know if that's normal, but I love that. I see them every day, every principal and assistant principal greeting the children every day. And I wanted to let you know that I see you and I appreciate you and thank you. And that's it. The time now is 8:09 and
Okay. The next meeting of the Board of Education is scheduled Monday. This is old. Ooh. The next meeting of the Board of Education will be held Monday, October 27th, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the boardroom at the administration building. Thank you.